Alright guys, welcome to another YouTube video. I'm Victor, known as the Photomographer on Instagram. And although I've been born into like a family of photographers like all my life, I've had like 6 years roughly of like professional experience. And as the title of the video is how to step up your photography game 2025, I just thought to share how I approach photography from my own perspective. So personally, there are 3 things I look at intentionally while taking photographs. I look at my lighting, what lighting am I using? I look at my colors, what colors am I using? I look at my poses or action, what does the picture entail? What is like the content of the photograph? So let's start off with lighting. I like to use a creative lighting method where I use targeted lighting as against like a default standard holistic bright lighting. I like my lighting targeted and in small portions. So let's go over with my light modifiers. I like to employ the beauty dish with the grid, because I find that it gives this silver shiny look to pictures. Number one, it enhances the makeup, it makes the skin look sharp or crisp. It is not a general holistic lighting in the sense that it is just most times targeted on this area, the face and to the chest area, because I have other lights targeting other parts of the picture. And I also like to use the cone. I don't know what they call that. I think the cone, it is like the beauty dish but smaller for my hair lights, the backlight. I like to use the cone. For fill light, I like to just maybe use the reflector or use a bigger cell box on quarter power as the main light. However, I plan to make a more in-depth video on my lighting, but here are a couple pictures that employ these lighting styles I have just explained on your screen. You can check them out on my page as well. Now moving on to the second point on the list, we talk of colors. So colors are like very underrated and most times overlooked when it comes to taking pictures. To be intentional on your colors, I personally like to use complementary colors and analogous colors. You know your color theory, you should know your complementary colors. There are basically ways you can combine colors on the color wheel. Complementary colors are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. Such includes red and green, yellow and purple, and my favorite, blue and orange. It gives this peace of mind when you look at it, because also analogous colors are like colors close to each other on the color wheel. So you have blue, you have maybe teal, these are analogous colors, or blue and green. Then on the warmer part you have red and yellow, red and orange. Colors are similar to each other. However, I prefer complementary colors because they have more contrast when you photograph complementary colors. Another point on the list is your poses or your action. Personally, I like to have the subject or the models execute an action. If maybe it could just be in form of stepping from point A to point B and maybe flip your hair or flip your outfit or do something interesting. Let your pictures have some kind of life. So basically, in other words, let your picture have a point of focus, a point that drags your eye directly to that particular point. You can also achieve this through foreground object or element, where you put an object to kind of block and frame your picture. Obviously out of focus, it's going to be blurred out so that your eye goes to a certain part of the picture. You can also do this with background element as well. The same thing. You can also play with emotions. If it's a model or for a creative shoot, you can have them keep this point blank emotion. Having them keep this neutral expression can suit most needs. These are just few points of mine from my own perspective I felt to share to you guys to help you elevate your photography games. Subscribe for more, where I talk in depth on lighting, colors, and maybe more of behind the scenes, so you see how I direct my subjects. And like, share the video to your creative friends, and see you next time.